Okay, so we are now in part 2 of lesson 3, using shapes to create artwork for a postcard. And in this next operation, we're going to create polygons, and we'll actually use the polygon tool, and we're going to be creating a triangle with this tool. And the polygon tool can be found right under the ellipse tool. And so what I'm going to do is this tool works a little bit differently, as rather than drawing from the corner down to the lower right corner, we're going to draw from the inside out. And so I'm just going to hover right over here so I see the intersection line. And then I'm going to hold down my mouse and I'm going to drag out. And as you can see, I have a polygon here. And one of the neat things here is I can change the sides of this polygon by using my up and down arrows. I'm using my down arrow and you can see it's now square. And then if I do another down arrow, I have the triangle. And then I want the width to be about a 0.5. So just go ahead and make it about a 0.5. And we want to, the height is going to be let's see if I can, about a 5.5 as well. So we'll just go ahead, and that's pretty close. Now if I hold down my shift key, now I straighten out the triangle, and then I can let go of the mouse. And now you see I have created a triangle. Now if I go back to create another polygon, you'll notice it will default to whatever I had the number of sides before. And I can just go ahead and use the up arrows to get a 5-sided polygon, 6, etc. So we'll go ahead and we'll delete that. And then using your selection tool, which is the V key on the keyboard, and then we're going to select this and bring it down. And again, making sure that we have our intersection, which we do. And so then from here, we're going to learn how to create stars. And again, going back to the shape tool, we're going to go to the star tool. And when I drag it out, you'll see that I create a star. And again, just by using my up and down arrows, I can create a star. Well, I want a 4-pointed star. So I'm going to create that. And then I'm going to hold down my shift key so that the star is at this rotation. And then we want to have a 0.5 inch approximately, so we'll go ahead and get to 0.5, close enough, and then let go of the mouse. And we're going to change the fill colors of these stars, and we're going to go with a red and then a orange. So I'm going to go ahead and select a dark red. And then, again, if you remember from past lessons, if I hold down my Option key, and I need to be on my selection tool, of course, hold down my Option key, I can drag out another star, make a copy of that, and then I'm going to change this color to a orange. Okay, and so we have that part of the process completed. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my stars, and I'm just going to place them over this area here and bring it to here for now. Okay, now the other thing I want to talk about are strokes. And if you notice, we have black outlined strokes here. I can change the stroke and turn it off, which I'm going to do with all of these here. And I'm just going to go ahead and select everything except the bottom one. And I'm going to put no strokes on there. And that was a quick way to do that. Okay. And again, I'm going to actually take this triangle and bring it down a little bit here. Okay. So we're going to change the stroke here on the bottom one, however. And what I want to do is I'm going to change it. We're going to change the color of the fill to that lighter yellow, and then we're going to change the stroke to the darker green, same as the lamp. And then you don't really see anything right now, but I'm going to go up here to where it says stroke 1 point, and I'm going to make this a 5-point stroke. And so now you can see I've got the same color. It's made it a little larger. I've got the connection going on here. Again, I got a little connection. I'm going to use my down arrow and just kind of remove them so we get a better flush on the edges. On this next part, we're going to be working with straight lines and line segments, which are known as open paths, to create a lampshade. And so we'll go ahead and start by zooming in over to this area right here. And because I want to zoom in specifically to that area, I'll go ahead and bring it up here. And I'm just going to move my tools around here in my panels. Okay, so I have a little blank area here I'm going to be working with, and I'm going to go back to my shape tool and I'm going to go with the ellipse tool here. Now the difference though is I'm going to be doing this in outline mode. So I'm going to go to View, Outline, and you'll notice everything turns into an outline there. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to drag, I'm going to create a ellipse that has a width of 1.5 and a height of 0.1. So we'll go ahead, 1.5, closing up, and then a height of 1. Okay, and I'm just going to move this over and down a little bit so that we can work with this without messing with the other shapes. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Direct Selection tool, which again is A on your keyboard. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to deselect by clicking in the artboard area, but I'm just going to select the top part of this rectangle, okay? And then I'm going to, once I've got that done, I'm going to go up to Edit and Cut, and then Edit and Paste. And I can do that Control X or Command X and Command V. And you'll notice now that I actually made two components here. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just move this star for now so you can see the operation more clearly. So now I have the bottom of my lampshade, and the top of my lampshade going here. And another thing too is if you select one of these segments and you use a down arrow, it will go by 1 point, but if you hold down the Shift key, it will go by 10 points. So it goes, you can see I moved the lampshade over here to the left where it should have been. And how I did that was I just selected both of these and then used my selection tool to move these. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the line segment tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a lamp post. And what you want to do here is you want to go, you want to hover over the bottom part of this lampshade till you see anchor, which is the anchor point. And then what I'm going to do is hold down my Shift key and I'm going to draw a stroke to about 2.5. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to actually change this stroke to 9 points and keep it black. So I'm going to go into the stroke panel, choose black, and then I can go up to here and then change it to 9 points. And a faster way to do it too is you can just highlight it and hit 9. Okay. And oops, I didn't have it selected. So make sure that it's selected, and then so that nothing changed here. I did have the lamppost selected, but we need to go back into our view panel and we're going to click on over print preview, and now you can see that we've added a significant width to that line stroke. So now we're ready to join paths, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be joining these paths here, because remember we cut them, and what we're going to do is we have an operation where we can join them. So the first thing I'm going to do is with my selection tool, I'm just going to select this part of the lamp, and then I'm going to go Object Path Join. And now you can see I got a great lampshade there, and very easy operation. I want to make the pedestal next, and if you hit the D key, it automatically defaults back to black and white, and we want to have our fill color black. And the ellipse width is going to be 1.1 by 0.35. So we'll go 1.1 by 0.35, and then click OK. And then what you're going to do is select the V key on your keyboard to get to the selection tool. And we're going to drag this until I get the intersection there. And I want to go up so that I intersect directly at the bottom of the lamp post. Now, as you can see, we have an issue going on here. I need to come down just a little bit here, so I'm going to select this and come down so that's not viewing. And notice up here I have a stroke, so I'm going to turn that off. Okay. And then if I click out, there we go. We got the pedestal for the thing. Now it is in front, so I could select it and go Object Transform or Object Arrange, and I can send it to the back, which doesn't, they're both black, so you're not going to see really any difference there unless you used a gradient to kind of show more of a 3D look to this lamp post. And we're going to go to the line segment tool, and we're going to draw it down, and as we draw it down, double click, whoops, got that wrong, and we want to go to a 1.5. Close enough. Okay, and then the next thing we want to make sure is we do have a stroke, so we're going to do a black stroke, make sure that it has 1 point. And then we're going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here, and we're going to use the width tool to change the size of this. So we're going to go ahead and select the width tool, which is over here. You can also select it by going Shift W. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the middle, and I'm going to drag this out. And just very easily have changed the width of that. And we were going to go side 1 and 2 at approximately 2.9. So close here, we'll go back to 2.9. Okay, close enough. And you can see that we have the outlines in blue, and of course we have the width line here. Another thing I can do is I can also move this up and change the shape that way. So I'm going to do that a little bit here. Okay. And then we're going to position the pointer over the anchor line, and you'll notice that we have a little wave going on there, and the word anchor appears. If we double click on this, we have a width point edit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change side 1 to a 0.2 and side 2 as well. And we're going to click OK. And now you notice I have a flat area here on top of this current lamp. And we can go ahead and double click on the bottom one, and we'll go ahead and make that roughly a 0.42 on both sides. And then click OK. Okay, and again, we can keep playing with the shapes here. Again, I can go in here and I'm going to just kind of, and you can make the lamp the way you want to. Again, it's totally up to you how you want to design it. And once you get it to where you want it, again, you can do that as well. We'll go ahead and select the rectangle tool, and we're going to create another lampshade. So we'll go back here and do the rectangle tool. And what I'm going to do is we're going to just click the box because I want it to be a width of 1.5 and I want the height to be a 0.8. And then I'm going to click OK. And we notice there's a lampshade here. I'll hit the V key on my keyboard and move the shade up. And again, getting it to the intersection. And what I want to do is I want to turn off the stroke, and then I'm going to go to a burnt orange color here. And that will get us to the next operation where we're going to be doing some strokes. We'll continue. I didn't mean to, I told you to turn off the stroke. Actually, what you want to do is go to the same color that we selected. We'll have a 1-point stroke because with the width tool you have to have the stroke to work with. So anyhow, we'll go to the width tool and go to where it says intersection, and I'm just going to give it a slight bevel on top and a slight bevel on the bottom. So anyways, that completes part 2 of lesson 3, and you can see we're getting pretty far here. We'll go into the next operations of working with the shape builder tool. So thank you.